So after about 10 minutes, it's going to build up pressure, and when the machine finishes, you'll hear a little kind of like opening up a can of Coke. The best way to measure hydrogen is with a blue reagent liquid like H2 Blue, like this. And sometimes you'll see people using a liquid like this, giving higher readings and numbers on their machine, which in my view isn't accurate, because this is actually a diluted blue fluid. So this is the correct way, in my view, to measure for hydrogen. Now, do you hear the pressure? That's good, that's a good sign. So this has to be filled up to 6 mil. Let's make sure I do that correctly. Perfect, you can't really see it there, can you? I was hoping the camera would adjust. An important detail I forgot to add is that when you add 1 drop of this H2 Blue fluid, it shows the presence of 0.1 parts per million of hydrogen or 0.1 milligrams per liter. You can use either of those metrics to measure. Industry standard is usually milligrams per liter. I just prefer to use parts per million. I'm conditioned to it. And how you know is that when you put that blue drop in, and if it disappears, it's successfully showing you that there is hydrogen present. When it stops and stays blue, you've reached the maximum number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if there's hydrogen in it, in the solution, it will disappear. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 1 part per million or 1,000 parts per billion. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 2,000 parts, 2 parts per million or 2,000 parts per billion. 21, 22, 23, 24, 2.4 parts per million, 25, 26, 2.6 parts per million, 27, 28, that's what we got up to the last time, 29, 3 parts per million, and that's about accurate. 3 parts per million, or 3,000 parts per billion. So that's a nice, accurate measurement. So this is important to remember. If there was more minerals in this water, I would have gotten a higher hydrogen reading. If there was more water in the machine, I would have had more pressure and gotten a higher hydrogen output as well. This is reverse osmosis water. There are no minerals in it. I measured the TDS. It's basically down to almost 0. So I hope that helps, and stay tuned as I'm going to explain a lot more about the benefits of hydrogen and make many more videos to come. But I highly recommend the H2 Grail, and it produces a good quantity of hydrogen, of therapeutic molecular hydrogen, and it's going to keep you young and healthy for sure.